Alright, well, if you don't know me, my name is Jerod. I am the husband of Jessica. I've been meaning to post this video about our investments and what we're doing now. So some of you know we are just got completed with baby step 3, which is awesome, and it's a great feeling to know that we can do this because it is moving along. And I would have never thought I'd be in this position to be able to invest money, and it's been fun and awesome and really cool to be able to do this now. So I just wanted to share something with you guys about what I've been doing, what I've been learning. I know when I first started thinking about investments and 401ks and mutual funds and all these big, I was intimidated. I honestly did not have a clue what any of it meant or really anything of what I was doing or investing in or how it worked until I started learning and reading about it and really diving into the websites and calling my providers. I have, we have two financial providers, or brokers I guess. We use Fidelity, which has my 401k, and a Roth IRA that I transferred an old 401k from an old job to a traditional IRA and then put it into a Roth IRA. So I have with Fidelity right now a 401k and a Roth IRA. And then Jessica, when she left her job, she had a 401k that she had built up. We just actually converted it to a traditional IRA, and start of this year we're going to be chunking that out and converting it to a Roth. Basically, when you go from a traditional IRA to a Roth, if you don't know, you have to pay the taxes on whatever you put into the Roth. So we had a pretty good chunk on hers, so we were going to just basically chunk it out and divide it up so that we could afford the taxes on what we were going to pay. So I'm going to go ahead and give some numbers. I'll just use what we have and just get real with it. So basically what I wanted to just start with was just about the intimidation factor. I remember how I was whenever I started thinking about it and was really confused and felt dumb, I guess, and didn't want to mess with it. But once I started, it's simple. It's really not that complicated. I mean, it is. It can be, but what we're doing and what I do, you can make it easy. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. So I met with a financial advisor. Went through Dave Ramsey's ELP and got in contact with one of his ELPs, endorsed local provider. We opened up a 529 account for JoJo. We just put $1,000 in there to get it kick-started. Didn't meet with him, just wanted to get that going, but then we were talking about converting Jessica's traditional IRA into a Roth, and we were going to put about $5,000 into a Roth. Of course, we wanted to make sure we could pay the taxes on that $5,000 to do that, the $5,000 we were going to put into the Roth. So I wanted to go and talk to him about it. So I sat down with him. We had a great discussion for about an hour and a half. I highly recommend you getting a financial advisor because it can be complicated and you just want peace of mind knowing where your money's going, coming from a professional. Now, saying that, when I met with my financial advisor, I had a little bit of a curveball thrown at me because there is a new thing coming out that the government is going to be calling some fiduciary. I'm not really sure the terminology, but basically what my understanding is that if you have under $25,000 of your household in accounts, meaning 401ks, Roth IRAs, any mutual funds, and if those accounts are under $25,000, the government is going to take those over and basically direct you on where to be your financial advisor, basically. So kind of got off topic with that, but the reason now is that I went to go meet with him to talk to him about investing. He told me to kind of wait until we see how this bill is going to be passed, what the government plans on doing with this, because basically what their objective is to do is to create, from taking 600,000 investors, financial advisors right now, and cutting that in half. They're wanting, I'm not really sure, and if anybody knows more about it, please let me know, because there's not really a lot of talk going on about it, and I'm kind of worried about it because we're in our investment mode now. We've been diving into trying to invest, and the timing of it's just kind of bad for us. But you got to do what Dave says and think long term, and this is just a minor thing. So hopefully it won't be too much of a hiccup for us. But when I went and met with him, he informed me on all this. And it was a great meeting. So kind of wanted to share that with you guys. Anyway, so back to what I'm doing now. So what we have right now is we have 3 accounts. we have 3 mutual funds. Like I said, we have Jessica's 401k, which is with T. Rowe. That's her 401k that has been converted to a traditional IRA. So it's just sitting there right now in a mutual fund as an IRA, but we want to convert that to a Roth. But there's about 20 grand in there, and we do not want to convert the whole 20 grand to the Roth because we can't afford to pay taxes in a lump sum on $20,000. So our plan was to chunk it out in 5 grand chunks because we can afford taxes on $5,000, and over a 4-year period we would take that out and transport it to a Roth. So that is my plan to do with that. Now back to what we were going to originally talk about. Dave talks about picking mutual funds between 10 to 12%. You can, and I've done it, and I've got my right now that are in that situation, or that have mutual funds that are yielding back 10 to 12%. So with Jessica's, the T. Rowe account, not going to use that one because I haven't really actively done anything with that one until we're going to convert that to the Roth. And one of the reasons why we're waiting is because of what I just talked about, which was that bill that is supposed to be passed by the government. So once we get all that logistics and the government gets all their things figured out, because there's still some things that need to be clarified, like what the $25,000 as a household, is it going to be as a household, or is it going to be $25,000 each individual account? So we're just waiting on them to basically solidify what they're going to do until we start investing again with her Roth that she's got. So what I've done is I get online to pull these things up, right? So for her Roth, or sorry, for her traditional IRA with T. Rowe, I printed this up. So like I said, it's right around 20 grand. And this basically is the prospectus that Dave talks about. It's the breakdown of the account, how my assets are allocated in a nice little pie chart, and each one is different. T. Rowe, Fidelity, they're all different. They're all different platforms, so you just got to get in there and play with them, and just don't be scared to click on things, you know. And that's what I was doing. I was just, what's this do? And they take me there, and oh my gosh, look at all this information. So bottom line is what we want to look for, and what Dave has taught me, and what he tells people, and is to look for the annual rate of return. So I've got here in the T. Rowe, it's called a fund snapshot, and basically it just gives me the rate of returns, it gives me the price of the stock, or it gives me the price of the mutual fund, it gives me a breakdown of what I have bought in each mutual fund. So the mutual fund consists of a lot of different companies that are, funding this mutual fund, right? So it breaks down what companies you've invested in or bought stock into, which is always nice to see. And then you get down here to your average annual total returns and benchmarks is what it's saying here. But you come down here to the annual total returns. So see, I've got it here. The inception date is December 29th, 2006. So this is not a long-term fund like Dave talks about, which once again, this is the T. Rowe one, so I've kind of got it on hold. This is what they picked for her in her 401k. You can see here, it's not a bad account. It gives you 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And of course 10 years is since inception, so it's only got a 10-year. That's the life of the fund. And honestly, it's 5.63. So this one's not a very good one that it's in right now. I mean, it's fine. I'm not investing any money into it. Or, like I said, we're going to be changing this up. So that's where that is at. Now I want to talk about the Fidelity, because that's really the ones I've had my hands on, and keeping the pulse on it, making sure that it is where Dave teaches us and tells us where it should be. It's been growing and doing really well. We took a dip with the market, but I tell you, it's really cool to just be sitting back and watching things. I got my Fidelity app, so I don't be obsessive with it, but I check it weekly just to see how it's doing. You gotta monitor it. You gotta make sure it's doing good. But so for Fidelity, their website is very user friendly. Like I said, I have a Roth IRA with them. It's got about $4,500 in the Roth, and then my 401k with my company, it's got about 12 grand in it. I picked both of the funds that my Roth and my 401k are in right now, and the way I did that was I called Fidelity and just actually had them help me navigate through the system as to where to find a list of the funds that I have available that I can choose from without paying a fee. Because you have to be careful sometimes with the fees that are associated with the financial advisors. Certain funds will come with a fee. A funds, B funds, C funds, just depending upon the classifications of them, right? So if they're a well-established fund, they might have a fee attached to them, which I'm still learning about all that and how the fees are associated. And I believe that's going to change as well with this new government bill that they're going to pass. Once again, up in the air. But so for the 401k thing, basically what I did was I got a list of the accounts and the funds that I was available for, and there's hundreds of them. I mean, I did spend probably about an hour or two, but you can spend hours looking through them and drive yourself crazy. And it was kind of cool though. It was really fun. I mean, shopping for mutual fund, how fun is that? That's cool. You know, that's the money that I'm going to retire on, and you want to really pick the right fund for it. So I used Dave's strategies by going in and picking the ones that had a inception date of more than 25 years, that had a rate of return of more than 10%. And I found them, and it didn't take me very long, really. Like I said, like an hour and a half for both of them. So I'll prove this to you here. The Roth IRA. So this is my accounts with Fidelity. The Roth IRA. You go to the website to get this information. When you go there, it gives you all the details you need. And what I went to was this performance part of it right here. And I'm gonna make sure you can see that. So the performance part breaks this down for you. It gives you the Morningstar category, which is a large growth stock mutual fund. Fund inception date 12/31/1984, so pretty good track record. The minimum to invest $2,500, so it tells you have to one of those qualifications again. Turnover rate 66%, which I believe means how many people have turned it out, cashed it out, maybe. That's the only thing I could think of. The net assets, this is how much the portfolio is worth, and I'm not sure what that one is, but so this is what we're looking for, right? This is the rate of return, these percentages here, which all in pluses is good. Dave talks about, some of these funds are going to be skewed because, if you look here at this chart here, this shows you just how it went. And this big drop right here, that was 2008, 2009. And that skews the whole market because really we had the market crashed, and that's what that is. So it skews these numbers a little bit, and if you have one like this one here at T. Rowe is showing you at 2006, that's why my rate of return is only 5%. The other years before was 13, 12, 15, 20, but 2008, 2009 it was negative, whatever it was, so it skews that number. But so you just got to evaluate it. Look at the inception date, factor in some things that went on the past 10, 15, 20 years, and then look at the life of the fund. So the life of the fund here, it shows you 13.42 is the rate of return. 10-year, 5-year, 3-year, 3 years, 23, because it goes back before 2009. When you get into 10 years, it factors into 2009, so that's why that drops from 23. My camera died, so I wanted to finish this while my brain is going, so I switched phones. I believe where I was talking about finding the rate of return. Yeah, so like you can see here, this was my Roth. This was the one I picked out after I converted my 401k to a traditional, and then when we had the tax money, we put it into the Roth. As you can see, mine is at 13.42. Now it has changed, I'm sure. This was about beginning of January, and our market has done a lot of this, well, really this and now this in the past couple of months, but it's still good. I mean, this is, you can't sit here and fret and watch the market and cash out when it goes down, and you got to ride the roller coaster, because obviously, look at this, you can see that's a roller coaster ride. All right, but look where it ends up, back on top. All right, so 401k. Now this one is this one was interesting because my company had me into a Fidelity fund that was basically based off of when I was going to retire, and they used the timing method to use that, but the rate of return was trash. I didn't like it, so I changed it. I went in there and I found out that I could find my own, and I actually changed it to a different category. It's still the Fidelity fund, but the category was changed into a target date of what I plan to retire at, but I end up picking some different funds, which by once again just going there and shopping through it, This one again, a little bit different. I chose the fund inception date is 2009. So this one doesn't have a very long track record, but the life of the fund as of now is at 11.9, and that's over only a 5-year period. The reason why I picked it was because it was kind of aggressive, and right now I'm young enough to where I can play it a little bit of aggressively, and but I do want to go in and change that to a more established fund, something like the one I have on the Roth. But I'm happy with where both of them are. Said I'm still learning, and anything that I've said that I can be taught on, please let me know. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Don't be intimidated about it. Dive in. If I could do it, anybody can do it, and I'm still learning and still trying to do it. But it's fun, and it's a blessing to be able to be at this point in my life. But I'll tell you one thing, that when I met my financial advisor, that scares me is that if this bill does pass, us as investors individually, especially the middle class, we're going to need to learn how to invest our money ourselves, because financial advisors are not going to go after, if they have a choice to choose between a guy that's going to invest $250,000 to a guy that's going to invest $25,000, they're going to go with the $250,000 guy, and that's just, that's what scares me. So that's why I want to learn. So anybody that can help me, give me input, please do. Thank you guys for watching.